For this video, I'm gonna give you my 3 best pro tips to make better titles on YouTube to get more views and of course more money. When it comes to this channel, our goal to get to that $1 million. And then there's a lot of different ways to get there. Making better videos, making better content, etc., etc. And one of the most important ways to get more views on your content is making better titles. The biggest 2 things right now YouTube cares about to get more views on your video is 1, CTR, click-through rate. When someone sees your video on YouTube search or suggested, how likely are they to click on it? And the second thing is AVD/AVP. Basically, what is the average view duration or average view percentage? All this means is this: can you keep somebody on YouTube longer? YouTube wants to see that when someone sees your video, they want to click it, and then when they do click it, they continue watching it. And one of the biggest, most important ways to get that click-through rate is, of course, 1, having a good thumbnail, having a really good picture, but 2, having a really good title. First tip, have something numbered in your title. Now you may notice on this video, kind of like a meta perspective, I'm using all these techniques in the title of this video. Numbered titles do very, very well, and I want to stress for this video, everything I'm teaching you is something I've learned. Not something I saw in another YouTube video, not something I read in a book or, a blog or whatever. These are all things I've learned in my own personal experience after getting millions of views. And a numbered post, although it's kind of cliche, this is a very cliche kind of piece of advice when it comes to titling for a YouTube video or even a blog or whatever. It really does go a long way. Even in the beginning of the video, like with this one, you can even verbalize it. Like, here are 5 ways to have a better title. Here are 7 ways to lose more weight. The first video I ever made that got over 1 million views was 10 things I wish I knew before driving for Uber and Lyft. And that video did well for a bunch of reasons, but I think the biggest one, the number 10. If I call that video like, here are things I wish I knew before driving for Uber and Lyft, it's kind of vague, it's kind of whatever, but 10 things is very like boom, 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 boom. In addition, I also think it causes a higher AVD, or AVP, average view duration, or average view percentage, basically saying people are going to watch it longer. Because like say I'm going to talk about ways to lose weight. Like say I'm doing a health video, I'm like, here are ways to lose weight. Well, I may be rambling and maybe talking, you're like, all right, where's this going? Is this guy going anywhere with this? But if I say, here are 5 ways to lose weight, you know that by point 3, I still have 2 more points to go. So I think what this does as well, having a numbered post, is not only is it easy to conceptualize and read in the title, but also it keeps you engaged. Because like, all right, I know this guy or girl's not just rambling. I know they have 2 more important points to make about how to lose weight. Now, one pro tip I'm going to give you is 1, see if you're doing a video about anything, how can you add a number to it? Like if I'm doing a video about Ableton, which is a DAW or a software to make music, and let's say I'm doing a video about hacks in Ableton, I'm like, oh, here's like a cool trick in Ableton you probably didn't know. Well, as opposed to just me doing a cool trick in Ableton you probably didn't know, what if I think of 2 other tricks? And then now that video has turned into 3 tricks in Ableton you probably didn't know. That's a way better video. So 1, can you make it numbered? 2, and this is an interesting that I've noticed that I have kind of tested out. If you do sometimes I'm going to say a weird number, that can also do well in addition. Now, I say for me, sometimes I do like to make what I'm going to call a even number, like 10, 20. I feel like I saw this somewhere, it's a meme that I agree with it. Like 5 is a low-key even number, if that makes sense. So like I know this 3, I guess, is kind of as well, where it's like 3 things to do this, 5 things. It's a very like common number, but feel like here are 11 ways to build more muscle that you probably don't know about. There's something about that seems like, number 11 is so specific. That's a very specific number. Or 9 ways to make more money on YouTube. It's such a specific number that sometimes that can have a higher click-through rate. And these are different things you can actually test. There are some times where I'm like, okay, I have 10 things, like 10 ways to make more money on YouTube. Should I do 10 ways to make more money on YouTube? Or should I do 9, and then the 10th one is actually a bonus pro tip? So sometimes you can actually test this out too, but in general, numbered posts, numbered titles do amazing. Number 2, saving time. This is, I think, a huge secret sauce that's very overlooked when it comes to YouTube and making more money, and that is this. How can you save somebody time and demonstrate that through the title? This is something you're probably not expecting, so I want to go in depth on this, and trust me, if you're going to listen to anything on this video, this is probably my best pro tip. I like to use what I'm going to call Psychological phrases. So take that Uber and Lyft video. 10 things I wish I knew. So forgetting the number part, I wish I knew it kind of suggests, hey, you should probably know this. I'm saving you time because I drove for Lyft and Uber, or I'm driving for Lyft and Uber. Let me tell you the things that I wish I knew beforehand. I'm saving you time because you don't have to go and drive for Lyft and Uber to learn the things I'm about to teach you. On this channel, sometimes I do videos about iMovie or iMovie tutorials, where I'm like, here are 15 tricks in iMovie you probably didn't know. You probably didn't know is saying, hey, you don't know this, but if you watch this video, now you are. So it's not necessarily a matter of teaching you something, but saving you time. I also think this is why, if you look at a lot of like transformation videos, if you look at them, I think do really well. Of like, okay, let's say I'm going to take creatine monohydrate, very famous and popular fitness supplement. Well, if I'm going to take creatine monohydrate and I say do a video called, here are the creatine benefits, or even if you use a number post, 5 creatine benefits that happened to me. Okay, but if I say, I took creatine monohydrate every day for 30 days, here's what happened. Here's the before and after of me taking creatine. Now things just got interesting because now you're going to watch that video and say, hey, well, you know what? I work out. I'm trying to build more muscle. I'm trying to work on my endurance. I'm trying to build more strength. I've thought about taking creatine. Let me watch this guy or girl's video that shows the transformation. And this whole transformation aspect, I think, really does go a long way because you're saving people time. So a big thing I suggest if you're doing like an educational video, especially educational, is how can you structure a video in such a way that when someone watches it, they know that 5, 10, 15, 20 minute long video, however long it is, they're going to be better off watching it because it's saving them tons of time of having to learn something. You're basically saying, hey, I did all this work. I did all the work. You just get to watch this 5 or 10 minute video and you're going to learn all the things that took me hours to learn, days to learn, weeks to learn, months, even potentially years to learn because now you have these pieces of information. I've done videos, for example, like watch this before going to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Or, I've gone to Las Vegas 5 years in a row. Here's all the things that you got to know before going. Now you're like, okay, this guy has gone to Vegas 5 times. He knows his Vegas stuff. He's a Vegas connoisseur, so to speak. I'm going to watch this 10-minute video because, yeah, it's 10 minutes long, which is in this day and age, depending on how you look at it with attention span, a good amount of time. But that 10 minutes is going to save this person here so much time because you're like, all right, this guy spent, in a sense, 5 years of his time, of his life, to give me this 10 minutes. And I'm saving time and watching this video. So when it comes to your titling, and this is also good too as well, even if you take a step back to think of how to structure a video. Maybe even before you film, there's a lot of YouTubers, Mr. Beast is talking about this, where he won't even make a video until he has a good title in mind. So take creatine. It looks at him like, all right, I've been taking creatine, let me think of a good video. I could talk about the benefits, kind of boring. Like, here are the benefits of taking creatine. Very educational, very like almost textbooky. But then if I take a step back and say, you know what? As opposed to me just taking creatine and looking at the benefits, what if I take it every day for 30 days? What if I run 10 miles every day for 30 days? As opposed to just running and talking about the benefits of running, what if I make it a challenge? I'm gonna run 10 miles every day for 30 days. Now that's more interesting. I ran 10 miles every day for 30 days. Here are the results. Again, any way that you can save people time can be massive when you stress that in the title. Number 3, curiosity. As they say, curiosity killed the cat. This might be one of the biggest ones as an overarching general idea when it comes to this video. I feel like the first two are pretty specific, like numbered post. See if you can word it in a way that saves people time. But curiosity, as we all know, super, super interesting. And I think this also kind of goes hand in hand with the last one, but in a different way. For example, one kind of fun video I could do is like 5 reasons why you should never, ever touch a banana. Now that's really interesting. 1, 5, numbered post. 2, I am kind of saving you time because I'm teaching you something new and why you shouldn't do something, blah, blah, blah. But 3, it's like, why should I touch a banana? Like, that's a very, very bizarre thing. Actually, one thing I might say is, which actually, there's some science behind this, definitely a subject for a different video, is like, the biggest reason why you should say no to your receipt at the checkout counter. Now, that's a really interesting one. I'm like, say the thumbnail's like this, and I'm like, that to the receipt. You're like, whoa. Or you're like, touching receipts is going to cause you X, Y. Like, these are different things, because actually there's been some studies to show, by the way, as a side note, if you touch a receipt when you get it back, there could be some negative effects actually of touching receipts. So, just want to say that as a side note. Again, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, never pretend to be one. But anyway, that causes curiosity. If I say why you should never touch a receipt, if there's any way you can make a question or a statement or any kind of title that evokes some kind of emotion, and I think one of the best emotions is curiosity, but evokes it in such a way that you're like, huh. And this is why I think, like I said before, I call them psychological statements do pretty well. Like, I wish I knew. You probably didn't know. I don't know why. I love that one. You probably didn't know, where it's like 5 ways of building muscle you probably didn't know. Because, again, numbered post, I'm saving you time because now you get to learn all this stuff in 5 or 10 minutes that takes other people hours or days or weeks to learn. But also you're like, wait, you probably didn't know. Or, for example, if I, like, say I wanted to make it weird, I'm like, you would not believe that sugar can actually make you build muscle, or something regarding that line. If, like, say I'm talking about dextrose, because dextrose post-workout can be good for recovery, blah, blah. Subject for a different video. But again, you can again see what I'm working on is how can you make this video curious? Because I'll be honest, I think a numbered post does decently well. Saving people time, I think, is probably going to be the holy grail of this video. Any way that you can word a video in a way, or excuse me, word a title in a way, or I guess the video too, that saves people time is going to be big. Take this video. I've been a full-time YouTuber since 2016. These are all the techniques I've learned. I'm really giving you 10 years of making titles. I think at this point I've released or posted like over 2,000 videos on YouTube. So you're talking about 2,000 videos over the past 10 years, right? And if you think about that, that's 10 years or a decade of knowledge I've gained to give you this one video that's, what, 10 or 15 minutes long, however long this video is going to be. I'm saving you time, right? But also 3, how can you evoke curiosity? And sometimes it is something educational. Like I think Kyrgyz Scott is the genius of this. Kyrgyz Scott is the biggest educational YouTube channel. They make amazing videos about physics, biology, psychology, and more. Mostly physics is what they're known for. And they have videos that are like, what happens at the edge of the universe? Or, you know, is this actually more dangerous than a black hole? Those are really interesting questions that you're like, whoa, how could something be more dangerous than a black hole? Or what happens at the inside of a black hole? These are questions that make you want to click and watch the video. So any way that you can evoke curiosity, huge. And now a bonus tip, and that is trending topics or information. Like right now, because they just announced it, GTA 6 just got pushed back in terms of their release date. In the amount of memes that I've seen about blah, blah, blah before GTA 6, we got quantum teleportation before GTA 6. We got this person doing this before GTA 6. Huge. And here's the thing. If you look at Google Trends and a lot of things, a big way to get clicks, talking about more SEO now than anything, is to put something big in the title that you know people are going to be searching for it already. Now, I have talked about this in a couple of different ways. One is that if you post something in the title that people are already searching for in an educational way, like how to add music in iMovie, how to edit in iMovie, how to do a push-up. These are things people are searching for. But the second thing on this video that you really want to drive home is there any way you can use a famous person's name, a place, a heated viral topic that you can add into your video? For example, Lexi did a video that I mentioned before, said, I ran 10 miles a day for 30 days. Here are the results. I am targeting all these different things, right? Technically, it's not really a numbered post, but I'm talking about 10 miles in 30 days, visually appealing. It gives you a little bit of saving you time, right? Because what happened? What happened after 30 days? 3 does evoke curiosity, like, did it go well, did it not? But here's a big thing I'd say is maybe change that up, being like, I trained like David Goggins for 30 days. Now, that's more interesting because 1, of course, all these things I just talked about, but 2, you will get searches and get traffic from people because they're searching David Goggins workout, David Goggins exercises, David Goggins workout routine, training like David Goggins, et cetera, et cetera. That's more appealing because you're going to get an almost piggyback off of the big name of David Goggins. I did a video, for example, I got microneedling with PRP. If you don't know what that is, it's like a skin procedure. I tried it as something new. One of my girlfriends got me it as a present, where they basically poke your face a lot and then use your own PRP. It's like, what's it called? Plasma-rich platelets or something like that. I don't know. It's basically, they extract your blood, spin in this machine, and use some of the plasma from your blood and put it on your face so it heals faster, more efficient. It's good for like cosmetics. I don't know. I tried it, okay. And it's called microneedling with PRP. And I was like, okay, should I do a before and after? Because it's supposed to make you look younger. Like microneedling with PRP before and after. But then also, microneedling with PRP is also nicknamed a vampire facial. That's kind of like a slang term or another name for it. This kind of people use But also, going even deeper down the rabbit hole, one person who really brought it to popularity is Kim Kardashian. So in that video, I said, I tried the Kim Kardashian vampire facial. Here's how it went. Now that's more interesting because one, I tried something new. I'm telling you what happened. It's saving you time. Should I do microneedling with PRP or not? But two, you best believe I got a lot of traffic because people searched Kim Kardashian, or even more so, Kim Kardashian vampire facial. You know, another example for me being a music producer, I have a channel dedicated to music production. If I do a video called Here's How to Make Dubstep, I don't know, they got very kind of boring title, but let's say make a title called Here's How to Make Dubstep. Okay, SEO, pretty straightforward. People maybe want to know how to make dubstep, but, and this is what a lot of music producers do in the YouTube world, is they include artists. How to make dubstep like Skrillex. How to make dubstep like Subtronics or like Excision. They include the artist's name because one, in case you're an EDM person, you may not know, but dubstep, there's actually different types of dubstep. Excision versus Skrillex's, especially his new sound, versus Subtronics, versus maybe even Grizz, which is more on the like future funk glitch hop side. Like these are different types of dubstep. So one, it does differentiate. I might want to learn more on the heavy, maybe tear out dubstep side, like someone like Excision, which is heavy dubstep, or maybe on the rhythm side of like say different artists, for example. But then two, you best believe, because I'm including Skrillex in the name, Subtronics, Excision, maybe Rez, more on the mid-tempo, left field bass style music. I want to learn Rez more than Excision. You could argue Rez is kind of dubstep-y, right? But again, this is different ways that you can make your titles better by piggybacking off of stuff. Famous people, etc., but also viral trends. Like I said, right now, the exact point of this video, saying like, you know, before GTA 6, is a big thing because people are just gonna be searching before GTA 6. You know, there's a lot of ways you can do that. And one pro tip I can give you, and again, this is a way that maybe you can kind of incorporate all this together before you even make the video, is go on Google Trends. This is a big thing. You can go on, literally type in Google Trends on Google, search for the past 24 hours or 7 days. What are things that are going on right now? And see if you can include them. For example, there's a period of time where fidget spinners were the rave. What was that? Was it 2018 or 19 with fidget spinners? I don't know. They blew up. We all know this. And I remember seeing sometimes some people be like, hey, you know, let me think of a good video idea. Boom, like you're a fitness person. You're like, oh, I'm going to do an entire workout, but it's going to involve fidget spinners. Now that's interesting because one, it's a creative idea. Like how could you even include fidget spinners as a workout? Different ways you could probably do it. But two, by having fidget spinner in the title, you're piggybacking off this hype. So not only does it have to be like a static thing that's always getting a lot of traffic. Like if I do, again, if I mention Kim Kardashian, if I mention Skrillex, these will almost get traffic. But also, let me look at things that are currently viral right now. Like right now, at the exact time of this video, 6'7" is a big meme. This kind of 6'7". Could you maybe do a funny video of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a weird example. I don't know. I tried lowering my mile time to about 6 or 7 miles. I don't know. Like I'd have to think of like a better title. But you get what I'm saying, right? You could maybe like brainstorm in your own given niche. How can I incorporate 6'7" in my thing? Like maybe you do, again, you're trying to lower your mile time. Maybe you do something with, I'm going to produce a song, or I'm going to try to produce dubstep like Skrillex in 6 minutes, and then dubstep like Skrillex in 7 minutes. And you're like, 6, 7, I don't know. You're right? I don't know. That could work. I don't know. Anyway, you kind of get where I'm getting at. So look at one, when it comes to adding extra things in the title. Like I said, the David Goggins example is a good one where I ran 10 miles a day for 30 days. All right. I trained like David Goggins every day for 30 days. Way more interesting. You're including David Goggins. I here's the before and after of microneedling with PRP. Here's the before and after of having the Kim Kardashian vampire facial. How to make dubstep. How to make dubstep like Skrillex. Use all these techniques to make a better title. And sometimes some of it is actually doing a Google search, looking at what's trending, and trying to piggyback off the current viral topics.